Good morning. Happy Sunday, most likely. Welcome. It's just me this morning, unless somebody wants to come up, which is always an option. Chris had something to do. He might come later if we're still here. But otherwise, I don't know how long of a stream this is going to be. Sunday's the day where I have to end early anyway, because I have all that other stuff to do. So I'll keep it going as long as y'all want to talk. Or until a couple of hours, whichever comes first. I was watching the news. Looking at the news, and I see where there were some troops that got killed. 3 servicemen got killed. I think it was in Syria. It was a drone attack on Jordan or in Jordan. I'm looking at the articles now. And I can tell you what Biden came out and tweeted about it. He said last night 3 U.S. service members were killed and many wounded during an unmanned aerial drone attack on our forces stationed in northeast Jordan near the Syria border. I have no doubt we will hold all those responsible to account at a time and in a manner of our choosing. So they either don't know or are not saying who did it yet. But I saw some other article about I thought it was naming organizations. Anyway, I don't want to spread disinformation until I know for sure. Oh, hey, Jeff.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
What is up?
Oh, just starting my weekend, man.
Is this your Friday?
Well, it's my Saturday, I guess. I'm like a day off on the third shift thing, but it's good to be up here, man. I'd like to come up more often than I do, but I just don't feel like I have a lot to add to the conversation a lot. So,
well, what's on your mind today? That could be
I've been working.
Conversation.
You know what? I've been kind of, and I've been playing with it for like a week now. I've got this thing. It's the free app that comes with Windows, the Microsoft movie editor. I think it's called Clipchamp.
Oh yeah, that's the new one they switched to, or
And it's actually been a lot of fun. I haven't really shared anything in the Discord or anything. I shared it with just Frank and a couple other people, but I've been making like these random like sort of channel trailers, sort of videos of just memes, like just simple stuff. I've always wanted to be like creative and actually do fun stuff like that instead of like the technical boring stuff that I got my certifications and degrees in, but just never really explored that outlet. And yeah, man, I'm having a lot of fun with it, but my problem is like I make something and then I'm about to upload it and I rewatch it and then I'm like, this is trash. I'm gonna start from scratch. Like every time.
Do you save any of it?
Yeah, I think it saves automatically. I could share some with you here if you want, or just
do you have any we could see?
Well, the one I'm working on right now is almost done. Let me just make sure I got my screen secure so I don't give out my email or anything. And if you're cool with it, I can present screen for a second.
Yeah.
All right.
As long as there's nothing that's going to get the channel shut down.
No, it's just some memes.
No copyright music.
No, I use free out of the free database, and it took some hunting to find a track that was actually kind of cool. My speaker should be muted, so let me share audio. There we go. All right. If you can see me backstage, I've got
Man suffers because he takes seriously what the gods made for fun. Let me figure out how to blow this up. Okay. Yeah, I see your video. Alan Watts. Looks pretty relaxed to me.
Yeah, I was trying to have more, trying to like portray, and you do this a lot too when you talk to these, to the people with the conspiracy theories and that, like, why are we portraying ourselves as helpless? Like that's what bothers me about like the world almost. Like, yeah, you have to have a laissez-faire attitude about things, to a point, because you have to, focus on what you can control, not what you can't control. So like the lizard people and the flat earth and that, if that's all real, I can't do anything about it anyway. So I don't know. Just spitballing on the creative side of my brain for once in my life here.
Is it helping you? Like,
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely a nice outlet. I feel a lot more balanced.
hey Chuck, well, are you gonna does that mean you're gonna do a channel? You have a channel, right?
Yeah, I kind of started it like most of what. Oh, you know what? I'm not even restreaming it like I should be. That's a good point.
And I'll share the link too if you put it in the back.
Sure. Uh, just make a short title and edit it
Hey
later.
Robert, TML. How you?
All right, it should be good. And let me drop the link. Yeah, and I think that, we have a healthy amount of disagreements about things more than likely politically, but like, I feel like there's certain people that you can discuss those disagreements with calmly without resorting to so much ad hominem and, oh, you believe X, so you must also be, Y, because, whatever nonsensical, gibberish associations people make, such as all Trump supporters are racist. Like that's just an unfair generalization.
Yeah, I think so too. That does seem to happen on here. That ability to have those conversations, because we've had all types of every point on the spectrum you can think of.
Yeah, I've heard, man. I mean, I know I haven't been up on panel for a bit, but I've been listening. you know, I want to like Jack Talcott, but at the same time, I get what a lot of people are saying, and it's a little. I feel like have you ever seen the movie The Fog with the lady in the department store who's
Mm-mm.
um, blaming the catastrophes on the military guys? Well, I don't want to ruin the movie for you, but like the person who riles up the cult against people, like when I was listening to and it's just my point of view from what I heard between him and his interaction with Chuck.
Yeah, that goes way back from what I hear. I think
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
there's
and
an irrational element to it that's deep, like deeper than just what it seems like on the surface.
well, yeah, I mean, and I have to, I guess, consider the audience and the perspective, or at least, I don't know the whole story, but both times I've heard it seemed like Jack was kind of being a jerk to Chuck for no real reason. He did the same thing to Joe too. The one time I tuned in, but I'm just an outsider more or less. So to me, like, you know, first time seeing these people and they're just like going at it.
What was he doing to Joe?
Um, he put him backstage when he was trying to tell him about or talk about Paul or something.
Oh, that day. Yeah, yeah. I did notice that Joe was, but he and Joe have their little thing too that I've noticed for a while. It could
Yeah,
just be like the animal, the what do you call it? The deer or the people with the antlers locking horns, like how the males get together and do their little horn battles.
The YouTube dominance bash.
Yeah.
That's funny. We should make like an AI animation of like all the different people in the community and like sign them up to like different bucks with like different horns like going at it. That'd be fun.
Oh, we should. Yeah. Oh, that totally cool. We could have different tiers. We were thinking about doing some kind of game anyway, um, that plays out on stream. Yes, it was an interesting show last night. Interesting mix too.
Man, I love the Machine Lives channel. It's just my brain can only take so much, man. It's great though. I love the dedication, man. And it's crazy. Like I feel like, you know, in all the religion and race and gender classes, like and all of the schooling that I've had, like the most that I've learned has been through other people on YouTube. And even just within the last couple of years. Like even not even in this community, but like how to do things like around the house and fix things, you
Mm-hmm.
know, repair tractors and whatnot.
You just pull up a video for it.
Exactly, and they, and that somewhat inspired me to start doing the YouTube thing. Because I did film myself like doing some stuff to my tractor. Like that sounds weird, but like I just, you know, haven't put in the dedication to edit it so that it's like watchable. Like, and just basic stuff like changing the oil, changing the hydraulic fluid, and stuff like that. And there's a couple of videos up there now, but when I first started looking, there wasn't. And the ones that are up there, like, I don't know, I feel like I could do it better. So
Yeah, you should. So that's the kind of thing some of us missed out on. That comes up a lot in our men's group, the changing the oil thing. And if you had a father that taught you how to change oil, or you didn't, and you still don't know how to change oil because nobody was around to pass that kind of tradition down to you.
man, I did go to an oil change place last time, and I couldn't believe how much they charge. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh my
$125?
god! I used to take it to Walmart for like $20.
Really? I mean, it's like $30 worth of supplies now anyway, but
Oh my god! I can't. Yeah, that was decades ago. I can't imagine. And even then, I hardly changed it until I absolutely had to.
yeah, I'm thinking about it. My car's about due. I've got my car's got like 200,000 miles on it. My van's got 300,000. I'm proud of my vehicles. I've tried to take good care of them. They're like 20 years old though. A
Wow, that's a
video
lot.
editor in the community. Yeah, I'm sure, you know, there's plenty of video editors, but you know, Robbie, it's people, you know, you gotta at least learn a little bit for yourself to start, I guess. I mean, this isn't like a huge community, I guess. Limitomedy is a hell of a video editor.
There you go. I
I
played.
was kind of sad you
That,
didn't let him up on the show yesterday.
no, he's not coming on here. I'm not even
Oh,
starting that precedent.
no.
No way.
He can be calm,
I
cool, and
don't. I can't
collected.
trust it. I can't tell. Some people say he's in control of his behavior, and some people say he's not. And I can't tell when he can be trusted to control his behavior or not. I just can't.
Well,
From what I've seen on
yeah.
panels
I
of
mean,
him
it's
so far,
50-50,
he's
right?
broken every amount of trust that I have the ability to put in him, just from watching what he does to other people.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I haven't been around that long either. I still remember the my introduction to Tommy. It was fucking hilarious. So it's an
Redington
act.
thinks it's
Yeah,
an
and
act
I think it's an act too, to a point. And then
because
you know
people
what?
have seen him not act that way on certain other panels, including his own show.
like he's being an entertainer. I mean, it's you kind of expect an act on YouTube to a point. I guess depending on the context, but he does define, like when he was doing the shows, which I don't know if he's still doing the LARP Church and the Rage Monday and that sort of thing. He had a theme for it, so
I
you
don't
gotta
follow
wear.
him.
Oh well,
Do not know. I mean, I hope he is. I don't want to see him not do his own content, but I can't trust him on one of mine. That's
I get it.
he's too
I
much
get
of
it.
a history that I've seen with my own eyes. So
All right, I won't bring it up again. So what was going on in the news that you're talking about with the drone strikes?
some servicemen got killed. 3 servicemen. It was the first U.S. casualty in the Middle East since all this mess started. And they're not really coming out and saying who did it yet. They're just saying whoever it was, we're going to get them. Don't worry. So, and this just happened, so nobody really knows the real story, but they're putting out these vague statements.
Yeah, that's typical. No.
So,
Yeah, so the video I was editing, I didn't actually I'm putting like some different types of effects and trying to make it more in line with the tunes. And on that second part, what I was planning on doing was having, because I put 2 separate elements of the picture into the stream thing, and I was going to have it zoom into the top one first, where it's like, hey friend, I know the world is real scary right now, but, and then zoom down to the second part where it's real close to his face, and then have it say, it's going to get way worse.
instead
So
of having them in the same shot.
right, so it'll look like 2 different pictures, but it's actually the same, so it'll just zoom in on different parts.
Is that the way you really feel about it's going to get worse?
You know what, like, and that's the part where, like, the last part where it follows up with, presumably me sitting on the couch just being prepared for anything, like just looking at that attitude and pure hate. Like, come on, man, if you always think it's going to get worse, it is. At least that's what I'm trying to portray in my short. I don't know if the message comes out all that clearly.
I don't know if it is.
Yeah, see,
Because at first I felt really like the doomerism in me kind of arrested me for a moment, and I thought, how can things look this bleak to so many people? It's got to be
right,
the influence
and
of
the
social
anger that goes
media or
along with it,
something
like,
that's
hey man, that one guy, I question one thing he says, and all of a sudden I'm a federal agent.
wait, which one? What happened?
um, well, I don't necessarily want to call him out to start any drama, but the one guy, you were there, the guy who's always really close to the camera.
Was it on here?
No, it was
iFi?
on Flow. It was on Flow State. It was like, I don't know, later into the stream. But just as an example, like when maybe the Earth isn't flat and it's not that way or whatever. Like, well,
Oh,
that's
with
what a
that
federal
old
agent would
guy, and
say.
then the scientist came on.
I don't. Yeah. I think his name was Cecil. But the topic changed real quick, so like we didn't follow up on that. But he kind of implied that I was a federal agent, and I started to get like, oh, am I being confronted here? Oh
They're
no,
so
they
paranoid
found
about
me.
federal agents. Oh, Cecil, he's saying.
Yeah.
So,
But I've seen him chat in other channels, and I see that he's not completely crazy. I don't think anyone's completely crazy.
no, but they have a lot of, even the ones that seem sane, they surprise me with these little like bursts of crazy that they come out with every now and then that catch me by surprise. Like that person too.
Yeah.
Rant's one of them, but he will openly admit he's talking crazy. But last night when that other guy with the painting came on, who was truly crazy, rants started to make sense all of a sudden when he was talking to that guy. But then when that guy wasn't around, rants as crazy as he is. Which I guess that's why we love you all. It's a part of the charm.
Yeah, wouldn't be anything without other people around. And if everybody was the same, that would be boring.
Yeah. I mean, I'm from the South where we just grew up with crazy people. They were part of the landscape. They made it fun. There was fun crazy and there's crazy crazy. And I didn't experience like real crazy crazy till I moved out of the South. It was mostly fun crazy, which is more of what we have here. Well, Billy is a Fed for espousing the views. Well, I must be a Fed then.
I just wish they paid me.
Yeah, me too. Chris and I say that all the time. I feel like I'd be pulling in a better salary. But I don't think the Feds would have me. I don't think they could.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not a team. I'm not somebody you could just tell me what to do and I do it. The vision. Oh yeah, you talking about Rant or that picture guy? Well, both of them had. One was a painting. He bothered to put it into a painting. But Rance is just as visionary. He just doesn't paint about it. But when you hear him talk, he might as well be describing a painting. Wes, yeah, that's who it was. Chuck, you get paid for your Fed work?
for spreading online disinformation. Keep
And
them all guessing.
it's all live stream. Like it's really hard to do disinformation when somebody can go back and check exactly what happened on a stream. So the ones that are relying on distorting the narrative are not going to come out on top in this new medium.
Well, it's all about the sources that people choose to listen to and believe.
Well, I mean, we have the streams; they're live.
That's true. That's true. But like, what is the information that is being given that's based on? Is it like is CNN the most is that the source? Or I mean, I guess the benefit of being able to do this live is you can look at multiple sources, right? So like, why not even look at what Alex Jones is saying, and then also go look at CNN, and then also look at MSNBC, Fox, everybody.
I
Like,
think if
the
you
truth
do
is probably
everybody,
somewhere in between.
maybe. I mean, if you have the time and patience and brain capacity to do all of that, and there are people out there that kind of do it for us. But I think if you're going to take that approach, you have to some of those sources are going to throw noise into the signal. And you have to be really good at picking out, like keeping your signal as clear and clean as possible and not throwing in too much noise just because you want to put as many sources as you can.
Yeah, for me, I'm never 100% sure anything until like I witness it for myself.
Yeah, I think that's a good approach, especially in this day and age with everything being
So,
so narrative based.
that's why like I will entertain like flat Earth discussions, and that's also why we as a
Oh no,
people need
those
to
are
focus.
wrong.
Well, I know they are. I mean, I know they're wrong. I know they are. It's absolutely absurd. But hey, you know what? I have never been to space. I don't have a spaceship, and this is a big problem in my life because one of my goals is to like, travel through the stars. So that's not going to be possible until we as a people put more focus on, doing that like we had back in the 60s, 70s and
Yeah,
early
after
80s.
Sputnik.
Right, because Sputnik was like a real thing. People were really scared. Oh my gosh, the Russians are in space. You know what? Let's give NASA the budget they need to go to fucking the moon. And it's ridiculous, and we get there and we don't know how to capitalize on anything that we've been able to do there, and is why we stopped going. And then we didn't stop exploring though. I mean, we still have all sort of interstellar probes and rovers and that, but you know people don't give Elon Musk the credit he deserves. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. Like it seemed like the private people or corporate are able to do it now in a way that the government can't. And I was going to use SpaceX as an example, but I don't really know much about them or what they're
You
up
know
to.
what? And that's what that Twitter space was about when Elon Musk, broke bread basically with Alex Jones, the conspiratards, quote unquote,
Oh,
and
I see. I
everybody
didn't even know
else.
What's
about
up?
that.
You should
Hey,
listen to
Reddit.
it, man. It's it may not be your cup of
Yeah.
tea, but
Hey.
I highly recommend it because they talk about this topic precisely as I'm talking about it now. And there's not just one opinion on there. There's people from the opposing side. There's the Krasserstein twins and some other people on the line that take jabs at Alex that he deserves, and they talk about
I
it
think, why should I
and move
listen to
on.
any of these people? None of them sound interesting.
Oh well, I mean,
The
Elon's pretty
Krassenstein
interesting.
twins.
I don't find them interesting.
I would never think to go out and like, well, what did the Krassenstein twins think about this issue?
What's up, Redington?
Not much.
Fed versus Fed versus.
I don't know. Just random stuff. Subtitles.
Do you know any feds we should know about?
It's an older code, but
Well,
it
you
checks
already
out.
know Jones, so I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, but
Otherwise,
I think he's out. He's distancing himself from these circles.
who knows?
But I think his voice. It's about an hour and a half, I think. And you know what? I highly recommend just checking it out. Maybe if it puts you out of your comfort zone even more.
Put the link.
To the
What?
Twitter space. You want me to drop it in Discord or just drop it in private chat?
You could put it in private. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah,
Let me I could find you on Twitter too.
I'm pretty sure I followed you already.
Let me see.
I'm sure someone's reposted it on YouTube's.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of rock and empty space. Like, you have to stay on the space thing. You have to stay in the
Oh, they had
equipment that
another
we
space
build
29 minutes
for
ago.
you.
I didn't even know about it. Oh wait, is this an older post? This is.
Is that Alex Jones?
What am I listening to here?
I might get copyrighted if I play him.
I'm not sure, but it might be on YouTube.
I have no idea.
I'm actually having trouble finding it.
You think they took it down?
No, it's still up somewhere.
What is this video you speak of?
Well, it's not a video; it's a Twitter space with Alex Jones and Elon Musk and Vivek.
Oh my
It's the
God.
one where
Ramaswamy?
one guy got caught.
Those are all people that I would not care what they
It's a
have to say
very
on this.
weird combination.
Okay. Well, I mean, the topic eventually landed with Elon saying, we have to put all these differences aside, and if we're able to traverse interstellarly, then we can colonize. Like we can all just get away from each other. We'll have the entire universe would be our oyster, right?
Right. Let's be
That sounds
totally,
so idealistic to
absolutely
say.
dependent on technology for us to get there, and there's never any real consequences of technology. Okay.
Well, absolutely there are, but there's a balance somewhere in between, man.
I'm getting Talcott vibes from them. We're just all gonna. It's just all gonna work out.
Sing
We'll
Kumbaya.
Yeah. Right.
Nah, man, I get that. It's idealistic, but pipe dreams. I'll always have Starfield, if nothing else.
Oh.
Did anybody here ever hear Eve before? EVE?
Is that a game?
The
It is.
online
I
game.
think my
Yeah, I've
friend
played
used
it.
to play it. It's like
You
a
played
space
it?
game. And you play with
I
A
played it.
little bit.
I played it too for a few years. It was a lot of fun.
I couldn't really get into it. I was trying to use it as a cope for EA taking down Earth and Beyond, and it wasn't really happening. It was just not really like that kind of thing I
Oh,
wanted. So I ended up
man.
playing World of Warcraft.
You missed out, man. I was a space pirate. My name's Tuvok Shakur. And I went around and I robbed miners of their stuff. I used 2 characters and put one of my ships next to theirs while they're mining, and then warp into my other ship and then blast that dude up. And then the cops would come and get me, and I would just go take their stuff with my other character.
Yeah, you sound like the person that I would probably hate in that game. So
Yeah, it was fun for a little bit. But it was a game, so like people got me back pretty good a lot. So
I did like the how big it was, though.
it was massive, man. Like there's still to this day there's people who literally live in that game, and they spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to maintain their ships and characters and everything.
Damn.
It's
It's
crazy.
absolutely like there's ships that are like fucking $10,000.
Yeah, I mean that's
Of
like
real
it with
money?
any
Yes.
game, though.
My
Yep.
God.
You have the hardcore crazy people.
And like the Russian hackers and stuff. Like if you played that game, like that was like the best way to like, and if you clicked on any links that anybody posted, like, yeah, not a great idea.
So they would use the game to pass on.
Yeah, they would like,
information.
socially engineer people to get them to disclose personal information, stuff like that. It was pretty common.
I am the hardcore crazy people. Well, that could explain
Well, which Jeff is he
a
talking
lot.
about?
Oh, right. We have 2 Jeffs.
Yeah, people keep forgetting that.
I would put my money on Chopper.
I didn't hear anything too. I usually call out crazy when I hear it. I
I
don't.
very much doubt Gen
He
X
didn't
Jeff puts
specify.
any money into video games.
No, you can play that game for free.
Of course.
I mean, I probably put like $60 or $70 into it, but that was about the limitation of it.
That's smart.
Well, what's going on today, Redington?
Not much. Just trying to finish this book.
Is it Machine's book?
No, it's his mentor's book,
Scribina.
and I got like 15 pages left. But I keep getting distracted by YouTube videos and shit.
Oh no, that's that's easy to do. I'm giving myself over to this medium. So to me, it's a
Yeah,
good
you're
thing.
dedicated, man. I've been streaming every day is rough. I get tired after I stream for just a couple hours. Just interacting with people and that.
I guess Chris is preoccupied with stuff.
Yeah, he's visiting his folks, and they're out.
Oh, right.
So I think he's coming back Tuesday. But he said he might drop by later if we're still going, but we may not be.
Seems like when I get on here, TML disappears.
TML, are you out there? Is that who you want to talk to? Were you
Not
around
really,
last
but
night?
what?
Were you around last night for his show?
I was watching, but I wasn't able to hop on my computer.
The usual interesting
He's lurking.
cats.
It was
Okay, he's
hilarious
here.
though. Bunny was just bodying Talcott. It was hilarious.
She was doing what?
He was just roasting him big time.
Yeah. I had his stream playing while I was playing Battlefield yesterday by accident. I didn't even realize it until Frank came onto my stream and said, Talcott's ruining your video game. But yeah, I want to like him. I do. I think he's got positive intentions, and that's what matters the most. But and there is a but. You can't call people names like, just calling people an idiot. Like that's not helpful.
And
Still a
accusing
work
people of
in
lying.
progress.
He's done that a few times.
He's done what a few times?
Accuse people of lying.
I mean, sometimes people do be lying, but yeah, I mean, there's like 3 questions to ask yourself, right? Anytime you want to confront somebody, like, is it worth it? What's the possible outcome? And like, is this going to be helpful? Or something like that.
Yeah, I think you do have to have somewhat of a reasonably thick skin to try to do the kind of stuff that he's trying to do on a panel.
Oh yeah. And to just kind of, I mean, it's just there's a little bit of immaturity, I think, on his part. Like you have to, like he cut Chuck off yesterday when he was trying to reasonably explain something. And I really wanted to hear the rest of it, but he cut him off because he thought Chuck was being negative or something. And I mean that didn't really project him in the most positive way in my point of view.
I don't really watch his stuff, so I'm not really all that familiar with what's going on with him.
I don't really know either. I don't see a lot of what people see in Talcott, the negative stuff, but I miss a lot of that anyway. So I'm not saying it's not there. I just don't notice it. And the thing with him and Chuck, it has been going, that goes way back. Like they're gonna need a therapist for that one. But I don't think Jack's any worse than anyone else on these panels. I don't know why he gets singled out as some kind of bigger target.
I think it's just the nature of certain behaviors on the internet,
That's a good point.
or in life in general. Actually,
Like a scapegoat.
like he's trying to portray a positive message, so the negative energies are gonna attract to that and try to drain it.
Right? It's the philosophy that light only shines in the dark.
Oh, because I do some of that too. Because
Um,
I mean, his vision as a vision is not that off-putting. But there's something about the way he presents it that I even cringe sometimes and have that reaction. It's not to the vision itself or the goodness or the light. There's something about the delivery of it that makes me not able to take it seriously.
right. I don't take it seriously because I haven't, from what I have heard from his own mouth, it just doesn't seem to really connect with reality too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so either. So it's hard to evaluate just as a vision. If we could wave a magic wand and make it be a certain way, it's hard for me to realistically take those kind of questions seriously. And I think he can't bring it out of that realm to something concrete that I can evaluate. But it doesn't cause me to like want to sabotage him or attack him or make him a target for something. Like I don't think his message is so good and pure that it's like, oh, I have to shut this down. This is too much goodness and light.
I just feel like he uses a lot of adjectives. Like a
And
lot.
what is it? The Mormon hand signals or whatever. Mormon
Oh
wizard.
man, the hand signals,
The one
Masonic.
the wizard signals.
like you
Yeah.
Neo stopping the bullets from fucking Smith in the hallway. Like no.
I mean, Bunny was he was pretty poignant to mention that because I haven't really noticed that before. So maybe I was getting cast under the spell or something.
Bunny's in the chat like, he's hypnotizing you, you stupid fools. What's wrong with you?
I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot more than I realized. I mean, I don't know what if any of that's accurate, but I
It's
mean,
not.
it's just far as.
And then he came back and he's like, he hypnotized you. And I said, what's different about me? Like, what did he do that's different from before he started? And he said something like, he's feminizing you. He's making you all effeminate or something. So if he is hypnotizing us, that's his goal. That's the effect he's trying to produce.
I think I think it's just something to fill up the screen. The moving some kind of artful way of moving to go along with his artful speech, if you want to put it politely, I guess. Ninjutsu, that's great.
Oh, I don't
Like
remember that.
otherwise, it'd just be him just sitting there talking, and I guess
Well, it
maybe
is
boring to
a lot of
something
times.
to some people. So you kind of have to add something extra or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it did for a little while. It became the Jack Talcott show. He got zoomed in on, and he started giving his little sermon.
And the music was a nice touch. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like a watered down version of Alan Watts, perhaps.
I do appreciate Alan Watts. Imagine if you got Alan Watts from Wish.com.
Well, I saw you had one of his quotes.
Yeah, I had a philosophy professor that was that really pushed him too, so that's probably why. But it's an interesting idea that I forgot where I was going with all that. I'm like editing stuff at the same time here, so
Right.
apologies.
I never really got into Watts. I think I had a book of his on my wish list or something to just see what was going on with it, but I don't know. It seemed too, what's the word? Airy.
Well, he focused a lot about the differences between your id and your ego, and what's you and not you, and so forth.
What does he have to say? Hey, Cynthia, by the way. What is you and not you? Because I think about that a lot.
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, basically, it's something that I think everybody struggles with. I can't even think of his writings at the moment. I'm like kind of out of it.
I heard my name mentioned.
What up, Chuck?
What's going on, fellas?
You heard your name mentioned. You were watching?
I was listening as I was driving home from the grocery store.
Oh.
I heard somebody mention my name. I think it was
Oh,
Brad.
yeah. I was talking about how he silenced you yesterday.
Yeah, he didn't even let me finish when I was talking about myself. I wasn't even talking about him.
I wanted to hear what you had to say, and he kind of put you off like you were being negative. I didn't think that at all.
I was just trying to explain to him that being around the tables as long as I've been, you develop bullshit filters. And and it's been my experience that it don't do no good to dance around the mulberry bush if you ain't gonna pick the mulberries.
Right.
Man, I have a mulberry tree, and that shit gets messy.
Oh my god, I love picking mulberries.
Yeah,
I hate picking what's them damn blackberries. I hate picking them damn things.
Because of the stickers.
Yeah. My skin's got like a magnet. It just sucks all the thorns in.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. He's a different cut, that's for sure. But see, I've been around Jack for what, a year and a half now. So I know quite a bit about his end story. And it's been dancing this way the whole time.
yeah. I noticed that too.
I mean, I'm just going to say this in general, and you tell me if I'm wrong. If you got problems with your employer, if you got problems with your family, if you got problems with your neighbors, the problem isn't them, I don't believe.
Sometimes
Or
it
am I
is.
wrong?
Sometimes it is because I'm that person too. I have problems with all those people, and sometimes it's not just me.
But all at the same
Especially if
time,
you're
though.
somebody like Jack, that's kind of an outlier anyway, and it's the wrong mix of people. It's not necessarily anybody's fault at that point. It's just too big of a
But
difference.
all at the same time,
Yeah, in the right environments.
huh?
I mean, it's a little sus, but it's not impossible. I mean,
But you think there's
maybe
something about Jack that just makes him universally disliked?
Well, I know, and I don't know. I hate talking about medical shit that he put it out there, but I'm uncomfortable talking about it a little bit.
Well, you don't have to if you think it's something that crosses a line.
I mean, even though he's put it out on these YouTube streets, I don't know if it's fair game, to be honest.
Okay, just err on the side of caution then.
Yeah, I think I will. Because, like I said, I like the man personally. I don't believe in his doublespeak. Let's put it that way.
It doesn't even sound like doublespeak to
And
me.
Lord knows, well, if you go back far enough and you get the base story, you'll figure you find it
Oh,
as you go along.
maybe I don't know enough. But I mean, it sounds like plain up crazy speak.
And
It's
so,
like not even something you would have to disguise.
so yeah, so either he's lying about what happened, that it had or it didn't happen. But all the evidence points that it did happen. If that makes any sense.
Well, is it on a stream? That would be
And
easy to check.
yeah, through the from the through the years, the year and a half, yeah, between being on his stream, on Paul's stream, a lot of stuff came out that he put out. I mean, it's open. I mean, even last night on TML show, he was trying to compare himself to being a prophet of Christ, that God told him to do this. And a lot of people don't
Yeah.
pick up those subtleties when he's talking.
I mean, he does talk about
Hold
being
on
a
a
man of
second.
God.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, he does talk about being a man of God a lot. I haven't really listened to him
Well,
too
no,
much
he
to be able to
does. He
tell.
is. He thinks he may be a prophet. or he aspires to be a prophet. I have heard him talk about that. That's one of his callings.
It's harmless enough. Let him be a prophet then.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's any worse than some of the
Prophet
other
of
people that show up
word
on these
salads.
streams.
Yeah, dude. He's got some of the best adjectives I've heard in combinations in years. Like I had him playing, I didn't even realize it. Maybe he is hypnotizing.
He
Seriously,
is.
dude. I had him playing during Battlefield yesterday, and I didn't even realize
Well,
it.
he has spent thousands of dollars on these Tony
The
Robbins,
Tony Robbins tapes.
Ted Kaczynski, whatever they are,
Ted Kaczynski. What?
program. I
Like
lump them
motivational
all.
speaking.
Yeah,
Tapes.
I lump them all together. You know, it's like putting the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the mix. I don't know how
Where are
else
we
to
going with
explain
this
it.
here?
So basically, he's just trying to mass enough motivational speakers to try to cook up his own
Take
version.
over the world?
Yes, yes. If you go, he's got a website that's been up for 5 or 6 years where
Damn.
he portrays himself as a motivational speaker available for speaking engagements, a life coach, but has had 0 customers.
Got to start somewhere.
I think he spent his money in the wrong direction, but that's his money. He can spend it how he wants.
Well, I think he's genuinely trying to do good the only way he knows how, and more power to him. I just, the whole culty thing's a little weird, and the vibe, or
Yeah.
the
Well,
prophet vibe. But like, I
he
guess
hates.
that's why he's gravitating toward Paul in that, because he's got the same sort of vibe, but more in an assertive way. Like maybe this will evolve for Paul to be like his enforcer.
No, Paul's a better speaker than him. Paul can
Paul
articulate better.
is? I would
I
have
don't know
to
about
argue with
that. I couldn't listen. I can't listen to that guy for 5 minutes.
Paul just he has this ranty style.
Well,
He just
I meant minus that. There's times when he talks normal and makes sense, but most of the time it's just the sideshow stuff, for YouTube.
Sideshow
Yeah.
Bob.
That's what it seems like to me too.
Did you see the clip when he went on Paul's yesterday?
Who, Talcott?
Yeah. It was
No.
about 9 minutes that he survived. It was brutal.
That's some
It was.
codependence if they keep going on each other's show like this.
That's because I'm trying to think of the right words. I'm not the most articulating speaker that I know by any stretch of the imagination.
Enmeshment, daddy issues, blackmail.
Oh yeah, that was quite evident yesterday when he went on Paul's. When Paul told him the only way we can be friends if you give me the keys back to your StreamYard.
What?
Well, that's what he did last time. He gave
Yeesh.
Paul the keys and destroyed his channel.
Talcott did?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's some escalation.
It's
That's
an
a bold
interesting
move.
addition to his character.
It didn't work out well. It went up in a blaze of glory real fast.
Yeah, that's hard. That's kind of hardcore.
And that's like the second or third time that he had done that. Relinquished control, so to speak. He thought
The
he was
second
in
or
part,
third time that Talcott released somebody's stream keys.
gave him string keys, yeah.
Oh, to his channel.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant that
only
he
to
gave
get
out
bit in the
Paul's
ass.
stream key to other people, and they destroyed his channel.
No. He gave his keys
Oh,
to
okay. Then I'm
Paul,
not as impressed as I
thinking they were
thought I was.
in partnership on a level
Jack gave his
basis,
key out
and
to
it
them.
didn't. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, that
Yes.
was bonehead on Jack's part. That was just idiocy.
Fool me once.
And poor judge of obvious character. Kind of like I'm doing right
Well,
now.
that's what I am, according to Jack.
What, low character?
I mean,
He
even
did
at the
call you a
end
liar.
of his oh yeah, well, at the end of his clip with Paul, after Paul kicked him, he was still live on his channel, and the last thing that came out of his mouth was, "And I don't want you around me, Chuck, in Tennessee." And I hadn't even said a word. I hadn't even talked to him. And that automatically just came out of his mouth.
That's a little creepy, man. I don't get that. Why the hostility toward you? What's the lore here?
Like I said, I think it's because I reflect what he don't want to face.
Yeah, that happens
I
a
don't.
lot.
Yeah,
Where people see themselves in other people.
And I've never called him a liar. I've never called him names. And he's quick to do that with me. That's what aggravates me, you know.
Yeah,
I'll take
he just said the
ownership.
other day, like I saw him and call you an idiot. Like, well, why would you do that?
Well, he invited me up on the stream at the beginning. Then he proceeded to call me that I was trying to go around and entice everybody or persuade everybody that he was the Antichrist.
Yeah.
And then, so I went up at his request, and he
I think you were
asked me.
perfectly reasonable when you went up last night and he cut you off.
Yeah, I mean, he was muting me, then he backstaged me, then he kicked me. I mean, I gave up. I just left. I couldn't take it no more.
Well,
Because I didn't want to get hostile.
yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, like you said, he must have some inner demons there or something.
The battle case. Yes,
That's what I
exactly.
think.
Thunderdome.
You know, I have a buddy who was a YouTuber, and I let him. He called me up one day at 6 a.m. Right? Said that you know, he was living in his van. No, a friend of mine. I'm just telling a story outside of YouTube here.
Okay.
A friend of mine, he called me at 6 a.m. saying his van was broke down, and the gas station where it was broke at, they were going to tow it. And you know, this guy, like, I'd let him stay with me here for 6 months, and he never paid any rent, or got a job, or made any effort to do any of that. And you know, it got to a point, and I kicked him out then. And every inkling of my body was telling me not to go help him out. Just don't do it. And then one voice came down and said, "Just go get him. Just go get him." So I drive up there, and it wasn't going to cost me anything. So I used my AAA for him. So I drive up there to be present, so that, you know, give him the AAA card or whatever I had to do.
AAA at work, yeah.
And I get up there. This dude, he smells like absolute shit, and you know, he's a raging drug addict of some kind. Just spouting off the mouth, blah 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 blah. Good to see you. I haven't seen this dude in like 10 years, and I get up there, and his van is sitting at the gas station with the tire like sideways underneath of it.
Oh shit.
And he's got to the top of this, it wasn't even a van, it was like a Chrysler Pacifica, and it was like completely torn to shit.
My daughter
driving
had
in a
one
donut
of
on the
those.
back, and yeah, and
Yep.
like, it was all beat up, and like
How was it sideways?
I don't know.
Broken he probably had
it
a
didn't
broken
break
tie
down.
rod.
He's like, he's in the car saying it won't go, and I'm like, bro, your tire's fucking sideways. He's like, oh shit. What? You didn't even realize that? All right, okay. And on the top of his car, he had strapped to it like an old fence or something. I was so perplexed by this whole situation, and he told me he was homeless, and they were going to tow his van. He had no money to even get it out of impound or anything, and blah blah blah. And even when the tow truck driver got there, he was telling the dude to shut the hell up and stop talking to him. It's like he's trying to tell him how to tow the truck and everything. Like, okay. But yeah, man, I let this dude. I told him I'd let him stay like a couple of weekends, like where I would be home, and as I wasn't gonna let him stay here by himself because I just I
Of
really didn't
course.
want him to like rob me fucking blind. So I let him stay here with one
Yep.
eye open for just a couple of weekends, man. And he had this fucking crazy meltdown on my porch, and I'll never forget it, man. Like it was just over me. Like I gave him like $100 and I asked him to do something, and what he did was not like, it was just shit poor and like awful, and I asked him to do it differently, and he got really upset, started screaming at me. And
Yep.
not to mention that, like I gave him like a lot more money and food and cigarettes and booze, and just there for a couple of weekends, and it just totally flipped out. Like, some people, man, they can't be helped that way, dude. They
What
just do what they're gonna
motivated you
do.
to do all of that? Like, what were you thinking was going to happen?
Well, I was hoping that maybe, it'd give him the benefit of the doubt, and he would follow through on the stuff that he'd promised. Like, one of the agreements I made with him was to drive him to where he needed to go to get his ID so he could get a job, because his biggest barrier to getting a job is he kept claiming he had no identification. So I did that, and he still has not got a job as far as I know to this day.
There's very little you can help with that at that point.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, he's still doing his little YouTube thing. I'm not going to put him on blast here, but and it's sad. Like, he literally goes on there and he has like a small cult following of people who give him like, $20-$30 so he can
Yeah.
get something to eat.
He does it from the street,
Yeah, he lives in his
Yeah.
van. He lives in his car.
There's a lot of people that do that.
and they document it on YouTube.
Yep.
He don't want to document the struggle of being homeless specifically. He does something else with his YouTube, but yeah, the
Well,
grift is a big
it
part of
always
it.
comes down to the money. Yeah. To the grift.
He did. I remember the one night I tuned into him after I stopped helping him out here, and he was talking about smoking crack in his van with people on the live stream. I was like, oh shit, this is fucking nuts, dude. This dude's
Wow.
gonna be dead in a year.
And I guarantee if I'd have showed up on TML's last night, Jack would have lost it.
Probably.
He
He
was
didn't get to talk a lot. Well, he got featured
Go ahead.
once, but Rant came in and took over the show, and that other guy, and
right.
Jack ended
Well,
up leaving.
Yeah, but he didn't get mad. He just laughed them other people off, so to
Yeah.
speak.
At least it
But if
wasn't Tommy and Smith the whole night.
Oh
It
my
was pretty
God.
close.
I like listening to Smith, man. He's got a lot to say.
Hmm.
It's just a bunch of word
Yeah, I'm gonna
equivocations and non
And
sequiturs. I mean, yeah, it's
and it's
original,
the
but
same thing over and over. It's the same numbers,
Obama,
the same
Yeah.
Kobe,
I
Okay.
guess I
etc.,
haven't heard
etc.
it enough. Yeah, what's this about Kobe Bryant? Like, the man
Kobe
tragically died.
Steak. Something about Kobe Bryant, Kobe Steak, Japan.
I mean, some
No,
of it's
I
that
was
was
really
me.
trying to find that Spurg he left on the other day, like when we had the stream with Flow State, when I went on stream with Flow State and them, when he came on and off with that Spurging like gibberish line. I still couldn't find it going through the stream, but it was epic. I wanted to use it for one of my video shorts.
Oh.
Well,
If he
Talcott
doesn't
clip
have a channel, he
collection.
should.
Talcott clip collections already made a short out of Talcott and Rant
Huh.
last night.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was. That dude is on it all the time. He's just he constantly waiting for Jack so he can cue something up. No, I don't. Even if you put Mean Talcott and whoever else in a panel, I don't see no resolve.
Mm-mm.
And and I think what I was trying to say earlier with Alan Watson, that is that that he doesn't have a lot of security in his insecurities, and that's the philosophy of just being secure and not knowing who you really are. Like, I don't know, trailing off a bit.
But then that brings us
'Cause
back
he
to
gets really offended when you question, like, maybe that's not the right way to do things or something, and
Exactly.
and
And
I
I'm
think
not.
it's that innate need to not want to just criticize people for criticizing people, but criticizing people in a way in an effort to help them be better people. And
Yes,
I
that's
was trying to
why.
help my friend out the same way, and
Yep.
that didn't work out.
Because I don't battle with nobody else on the YouTube that I know of.
no, you don't seem
Or
like you would. You seem one of the most chilled
I'm
out,
just
laid back, relaxed people on the show.
yeah, I'm just down to earth. I
I
call a
mean,
spade a spade.
I think
I,
I don't know you that well, Chuck, but I know you shared the story, I think, about being a recovering alcoholic and
yep.
losing a daughter, which I'm sorry to hear.
I didn't lose a daughter.
Oh, she was in the hospital for an OD or something.
Yeah, yesterday she overdosed.
Yeah,
Oh
how's
man,
that going?
She's still in the hospital. They got her stomach pumped. They're just trying to get
Oh.
her stabilized. Is all. She's not on uh critical list.
is she awake and conscious and everything?
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. I mean, I hope she gets the help she needs.
I do too. I
She
do
really
too.
needs to want it, though. As far as I
Well,
can.
Yeah.
she suffers from a great deal of mental illness, so that
No,
doesn't help.
she should. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about Suboxone, but that's been a lifesaver for a lot of people.
She's not addicted to drugs, is the thing. She just she gets in these modes where the world's against her, and the only way out is take a bottle of pills at a time.
Yeah.
And luckily, there's been people around to find her in time so far. So knock on wood for that. Don't understand it, but I just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I put that out. I didn't put that out there for sympathy or pity, by no means. But if it helps somebody else, that's all I'm worried about.
What's up, Chris?
Yeah. I mean, there are probably coping skills that she can learn or someone can try
Oh,
to teach her over time. Hey, Juniper,
I love
do you
babies.
remember us?
Yes,
I
he
love
does.
Look at all the
babies.
new people.
She started waving at the screen when I sat down whenever I plugged up the YouTube stream.
He probably recognizes it.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi.
hi. He's like, hi. Hi, everybody.
How much you pay for that prop, Chris? That was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh, I know. I do. I didn't make
Okay.
it. No,
Okay. Well, it got dead silent. I wanted to make sure.
Oh no, I was just I'm like half. I just got back in, and I'm just like dizzy still. So I'm just I'm not 100% like here yet. I just sat down. I know that
Juniper.
I know that Juniper would like to see Jeff, and I know Jeff wanted to see Juniper, so I wanted to catch you guys. I was trying to get hurry to catch it before the stream was over, or something.
Oh.
Didn't know if it was going to end soon or something.
Is she staying there or is she going back with y'all?
She's probably saying we're going to go 2 weeks or something like that. That's about what we're planning on right now. But because because I've got a lot of doctor's appointments in the next 2 weeks. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that a girl?
Yeah, her name's Juniper.
Oh, okay. Are you a good girl? Are you being a good girl?
She is
Yeah.
a very good girl. She just turned. This is her birthday. It's her birthday.
Oh,
happy
really?
She
birthday.
turned 1 year old today. This is her 1 year old
Oh,
birthday.
happy birthday. Good
Welcome
for
to-
you.
I am 1 year old. Oh, there's a kitty cat. Oh my. She sees a cat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I listened in a little bit to the stream last night with the machine, and I started Lindsay was asleep in here, so I didn't want to like wake her up. I started logging in on my phone, but then I don't know, I couldn't deal with I didn't think I was in the right mentality or temperament to deal with Lance at the time that he was. I wanted to jump on to support you, Jeff, but like goddamn, like I.
Oh, was Jeff getting picked
No
on?
worries.
I didn't feel like I was getting picked on.
Not picked on, no. I mean, it wasn't like that. I mean, but he was just like, he wouldn't shut up, though.
Are you talking about Rant?
Rant and Lanza both.
Lanza.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Lanza was even there. I ignore him.
Who is that
I mean,
guy?
he's like a little chihuahua that tries to nip at people's heels.
Yeah. He reminds me a lot of Provo on his interaction to try to just stir the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, except Provo is so
Provo's
much more
funny, though.
Provo's a gentleman. I don't know what you're talking about.
I like Provo.
Yeah.
And he's been mean to people too, but at least he's really funny when he Lanza can be funny too, though. I'll give him that he can be funny sometimes. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It was
He's just obnoxious. He tries to white knight for everybody, and it gets obnoxious. It's pathetic.
Somebody's
makes me feel sorry
buzzing.
for him.
Anybody else hear that buzz?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm sorry, dude. It's probably my damn computer. I'm sorry.
And hey,
Oh, that's
Buster,
all right. You're okay.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how loud it really is for you
It's
guys.
not that loud.
no, it's kind of in the background. It's just like this little, very slight little buzzing noise that you can just hear now and then. It cuts in and out.
Yeah,
You're fine.
This is a refurbished Dell from I don't know when, but it's so old that it has a CD-ROM drive that doesn't
Hell
work.
yeah.
Doesn't work at all though. But like I have an external CD-ROM drive, and I can't seem to transfer CD files into WAV or MP3 or what have you. I don't know what's up with that because
Was it running like Windows 7?
now I'm on Windows 10 right now. I mean, like it was probably burned on Windows 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
The stuff that I'm trying to get on my computer, but it doesn't want to recognize the files, and I have to transfer them into something else, and I can't figure out what program to use. I've tried free programs, and they're all dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird that it won't rip them. It's not recognizing them.
Is it saved as FAT32 or NTFS or?
Does
Sometimes-
it recognize the CD? Will it play the songs from the CD? Will it play them, or will it just not convert them? Or rip them?
I can find a way to play. Yeah, I can play them, but I just can't burn them onto a computer. So I can't rip the songs off. It's this extension CD something or other. CD.
It's probably how the session is closed or not closed on that CD when it was burned, and some CD drives can't recognize it.
I've tried with all kinds of old burnt CDs that I did like while back.
If you're going to read the file, it should be able to copy the data. There shouldn't be any issue with that. If it's a pre-burned CD anyway, it's not a commercial CD. There's no copyright protection and everything. So that's weird, man. I don't know. You know what you might try though. I've had this. I mean, I can't guarantee you that this will work, but download like any kind of like fairly like low. Or just even one of the more high-end commercial versions of Linux, like Ubuntu or anything, or Mint Linux or anything like that, Linux Mint. Install one of them as a dual boot thing, as a dual boot option, and that way you can load into either one. Load into Linux and see if Linux can't pull the files off, because Linux can usually. I've been able to recover files of Linux that I couldn't even, like, Windows wouldn't even see. So I would, that's what I would do, because it wouldn't take very long either. Linux is real easy to do. You just you download the file and it'll even let you in the install menu. It gives you the option to install it as a second operating system, so you don't even
Dual
have to
boot. Yeah.
So whenever your computer boots up, it'll just give you the option. Do you want to run Windows or Linux, and then you choose what you need for that time. But like if I generally have a dual boot Linux copy on just about every computer I have, because I just in case of like file corruption or something like that, it's really good to have a low, just like a real low memory, like real easy. It's basically you can use it like a recovery environment, like you use in Windows. Like if you're using recovery mode, you can use it like that, but it works better and it gives you more control. So plus you can actually use it as an operating system if you wanted to. I mean, Ubuntu is pretty full featured. So
yeah, I forget which.
Sorry,
I forget which OS I was running, but what I had to do was I had to download the CD from the external drive to the hard drive before it would let me manipulate the files on an older system.
yeah, I think I know what you're saying. I mean,
and y'all call in with your tech questions. Just push the program.
Sorry, I was just trying to help out a fellow.
No, it's good. No, I was being serious. If you have other tech questions, this is the time to do it. We have all these.
I ran a computer repair shop and did tech support for years and years.
So, yep.
And you guys use Windows 10 or 11?
I mean, I'm on 11 with all my.
I think 11 is the one they keep trying to get me to upgrade.
Yeah, dude. Like they keep trying to you gotta upgrade, and I'm like, not now.
I'm not doing. I don't trust. I'm not. I have my stuff working like I wanted to, and I don't want to disrupt that.
Absolutely, man. That's my thought process too. I don't want to fuck with anything else. I'm trying to, keep up with the crap that they keep updating this thing with.
Well, I still got one that's running 95.
Oh, no shit.
Damn, dude.
You got a 95 machine? Sweet.
Yeah. It's old.
How does it connect?
Like beige colored and like.
If you ever wanted, like that's what like I used to love throwing like Linux Mint or Ubuntu, like with some of the lower memory versions of Ubuntu onto like old computers like that, because you could pretty much make a fairly modern like working computer for doing most things on the internet with Linux like that. But yeah, if it was 95, I don't even know if that would work. I think there probably are still some versions out there. Linux is real low footprint, so. I still use Windows because most of the programs that I need to use are on Windows. But if I'm just doing like browsing or something like that, like Linux is honestly better. But
yeah, my kid's got an iPad, and I hate that damn thing.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I mean, I have a Mac, but I'm not a big fan of the Mac OS either. But I had it because for graphic design and video editing purposes a long time ago, and it was like a monster back then. Nowadays, it's not considered like all that great, but it's still like a 2000. Yeah. But it's okay. I mean, that's what I usually stream on when I'm at the house. That's what I use for streaming because it's set up there for it.
As long as it works.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, baby.
When I'm here, I'm streaming on the computer I built for my daughter, and it's like a gaming computer, style computer. So it's like.
Hi, baby. Hi, Juniper. Hi. I'm a sucker for babies.
Yes. Everybody's a sucker for Juniper, huh? Yeah. Juniper. I was kind of mad at my mom and daddy yesterday whenever we first got a hold of her. She was kind of upset for a little bit, but then she got over it. Kind of mad.
They're kids. They do that.
Yeah.
Hey, Yeti.
You gotta teach her the Talcottian way, though.
Oh, okay.
What's the Talcottian?
You mean that you need to stay away from Talcott? Gotta teach her Talcottian away.
Dude, was it who was it last night that was like getting on about him playing with his beard hair? It was that guy Rant.
Ring it.
Yeah, funny.
He's the same guy as that guy that was had a rabbit avatar.
That's Bunny. Yeah, the rabbit.
He's the same guy. I swear to God, I thought he was made by Jim Bob, dude. I swear to God, I thought it was him because it sounds like him trying to do one of his troll voices that he does
He's
on
made by
TikTok.
Pop.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like him too for a while, but then I saw his cam, so I was like, oh,
Yeah,
well,
I saw it
goes
too,
that.
and I was like, oh man, my bad.
I know he doesn't sound like a real person. It's true.
I know, like he sounds like
The first time I met him, he was cammed up.
like a character.
He's got a good sound. He's got good audio, so some
Oh
people
yeah,
might
he's got great
take that
audio.
as, kind of like, who is this guy? Is he trying to like infiltrate or something? But
Well, he's not very good.
but he has
Well-
that
Just
because
doesn't talk.
he's making beats and rapping and shit, and some of it's kind of good.
He definitely got a BS filter built in. I'll say that.
Who's making beats and rapping? I'm sorry, I zoned out for a second.
Rance, otherwise known as Bunny.
Rand? Oh man, I'm gonna have to sub up to that guy. That's cool as fuck.
Who would call herself funny?
It was from the avatar he was using earlier.
Ah,
It was a dark-looking bunny with a yellow background, I think.
Yeah.
That's back when I thought it was Jim Bob. But yeah, I saw him on camera. I was like really surprised it wasn't him because I swear I thought I would have bet money that it was
yeah. What ranch called Jack? Some sort of wizard. Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He was getting on his
mystic
case,
or-
dude. He was really
Yeah, I-
getting on his case.
There was I saw that part where like there was the guy that came on there with Jack Talcott, and like it was like some
The old guy, Wes.
Oh, Wes.
Yeah.
Wes.
schizophrenic guy. Yeah.
Well, I
That guy
can
was-
tell you his original prediction that Wes
Okay.
gave out last year, that a green station wagon with a nuclear bomb was going to enter Chicago on such and such date.
What?
Is
Yeah.
He predicted that?
Yeah.
Is it a date that's
Oh, boy.
already passed, or is it? to
Yep. The date's already passed.
Oh,
Now
wow.
Entertainment Channel.
his new date is February 22nd of
Dude,
this year.
I fucking hate people like that. I cannot stand people like that. It's been going on YouTube for a very long time, like that kind of shit.
But you don't understand. God talked to him.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Oh, is that the dude who had the painting that he made? The
Yeah.
graphic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, dude, yeah, he was a little weird, dude. And
He
like,
Well, yeah, a little.
Rand was getting on his ass. Oh my god, that was
Yeah,
funny.
that was Rant was useful in that situation. Like, I mean, I was
No,
glad
I mean, yeah, Rant was the voice of sanity in that whole
yeah,
conversation.
which was weird.
Shows you how
Freaking the
Twilight
fucking-
Zone, man.
Holy shit, that was funny.
Well, I mean, like it wasn't even that the guy was. It wasn't that the guy was making any crazy statements. He just kept making like this vague like. He was like everything is the vision. The vision, and he's going to open the vision up to. He's going to open the vision like the vision is like a store or whatever.
the light, the seed of light inside is gonna.
Yeah, yeah.
the
Oh
vision.
my god.
That's in the stomach, apparently.
Yeah.
What's even, Jeff, what's even funnier is he originally went on Paul Unslaved to make these predictions.
Oh, man.
How did Paul
Shit.
handle him?
At first it was good until he came out with these predictions. Then it went downhill real fast.
I want to hear this, man. Is it still online?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, unless Paul took it down.
Dude, this poor guy, man, he's got some mental problems going on. I mean,
Yeah, he was
I
on our
agree.
show one time, and I noticed it then.
Yeah. Oh, that was the same guy that came on
Yeah,
our
the
show.
old
Was
guy
like,
chick- yeah.
We didn't understand what he was talking about either. Yeah.
And did you guys notice that Wes and Jack
Oh, sorry guys. Sorry about that. I was
couldn't even
editing the
get
video.
along?
Wes and Jeff didn't get along.
Wes and Jack.
Jack. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Even Jack was like, dude, you're. He was too vague for even Jack, and Jack is like the king of vague. Like
Well, Jack
vague
thinks,
affirmations and stuff. So
Jack thinks he's got a calling from God too. So what can I say?
So it's like a prophet fight, two prophets.
Yep.
About the scrap.
Bulls.
The showdown.
This is my corner.
And I know I ain't making no brownie points talking about Jack. That's for sure.
Pick her back up, baby.
No, I mean I don't think you should try.
She's okay. She doesn't want to be in there. She's upset.
I gave up on that. But I think I am going to call his bluff.
No, I'm sorry.
That he said he was going to refund me 200% of what I donated to him.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna see that.
What?
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
200%?
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think he.
That means you didn't donate. You invested in him, and you're making a profit. So, like, honestly,
streaming in an hour and a half. Scapegoat Sunday. That's perfect. Projection is the closest thing to a confession. Yes. Preach it, Jack. You would never know the hypocrisy of someone unless they blame everything on you, which actually reflects their true nature. Accusation equals projection equals confession. That's the topic.
Damn.
So that would be
it out.
And now that is the most ironic thing, I think.
Who? Whose title?
That's
tonight.
Topic, yeah, in an hour and a half at 5 p.m. Central.
Read that title again.
Scapegoat Sunday. Projection is the closest thing to a confession. Like you're telling on yourself when you think you're telling on someone else. You would never know the hypocrisy of someone unless they blame everything on you, which actually reflects their true nature. And he has the formula: accusation equals projection equals confession. So when you point the finger at Jack and say, Jack, you're this, you are confessing to.
No, it's okay.
And I tell Jack that all the time. I call him on his own projection. So I'm not surprised.
You come right back. She was reaching for you because you're standing up. Yeah,
well, I'll give you one of his that sticks in my craw. He hates money. He wants to do away with money, right? But yet he receives a check every month from the government.
Well, a lot of these anti-capitalists are little rich kids from rich families.
Well, he deserves the money. He got hurt while he was in the army, so he deserves the money. But how can you go against the hand, say this is bad, but yet you're over here taking it?
Maybe he doesn't see it as the bankers and the evil capital. It's like cleaner money because it comes through the people.
Well, no, I mean, I get it. I mean, as long as you're living in this society, now granted, he could go join like a hippie commune or something like that. But I mean, if you are living in society, though, you have it's something you have to, even if you don't like money or you hate it, you still have to use it. I mean, you can't just like not use money. I guess you choose to die, but or join a commune. It's like your only option. So
somebody sounds like they're choking. Are they okay?
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
I'm choking on. I've got Canacol.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure we didn't have an emergency going on.
Yeah, it's LA chocolate. It's really a good strain.
Nice. I have Atomic Jelly and Zerple Punch myself.
Purple Punch. I love that one too.
What is that? Kool-Aid?
Yes. Yes.
No, I mean they're talking about what they're talking about there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, those are goldfish in the back there, Redington.
The marijuana strain.
Yeah,
okay.
I could go for some.
And there's so many weird names. There's like garlic cookies and fucking. There's so many.
Skywalker OG.
Yeah, there's Skywalker old OG.
The fruit of the devil.
Wedding cake.
I mean, vapes already had like a ton of nicotine. Vapes already had a ton of like bizarre names on them and stuff like that was hard to keep up with. And there's always these little artisan companies like popping up and going out of business and stuff like that. So like you could never find the same like stuff all the time. But I used
unicorn
to work
parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like my main problem with like I would still vape now, but like I can't find any. The last few times I've looked, I can't find any flavors that aren't so dead sweet they kill my palate anymore. Like I used to like vaping like things that were like had a really mellow like mint kind of like flavor to it, but you can't find them that aren't just like dead sweet. They just taste like sugar, and I don't really like that. So that's why I worked for like an OG e-cig company back before like there were vape shops or anything. I mean, I was like the main graphic designer for a long time, and yeah, like so I started with vapes whenever they're just like little tiny little cigarette looking things or like this big battery.
Me
and
too.
The SmokeAnywhere.com commercials. I remember people bringing them into the building when I worked at the bank.
Yeah, before they start regulating it.
I used to do a television program on vaping on the
Really?
not on the internet. Yeah, I did.
Do you remember La Sig? Do you remember La Sig then?
I got one somewhere around here.
Yeah, well, that's I used to work for. That's where I worked for. I was the graphic designer for La Sig.
And then I had an online vape store for about 4 or 5 years till the government went nuts.
Yeah, they
What did
made
they
all the
do?
regulations they slapped on everything. I mean, it really killed the.
Oh, they changed the.
Yeah, it killed the online. It made like the shops more prevalent, but it killed all the online business. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think La Sig survived it either. So I don't know.
And
I don't know.
I've always made my own e-juice to go in them.
Yeah.
I used to make it for the kids or family, whoever.
For the kids.
For the kids.
Well, you don't have to put nicotine in it.
my children are older.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I'm just joking, man.
40,
It sounds funny
38.
saying it that way, though.
Yeah, I know. That came out kind of wrong. Because I was
mentioned
strict
they're like
on
in
that.
their 20s or 30s or something.
Yeah,
You can
I was
look for that clip soon.
I was always strict on that though. I just
Chuck makes vapes for the kids.
I went through a rigorous process to verify before I sold anything.
Oh yeah, gotta do that. You don't want to get busted for that.
That's right.
Down hard on your ass.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they would.
The big scare with the sketchy weed vapes for a while.
Oh yeah, there was a weird time there where they were making like Viagra vapes and like shit like that. They were like putting all kinds of chemicals and they were making like antidepressant vapes and stuff like that. They weren't getting FDA approval. And
I'm not stoned as hell, but I got a raging boner.
Yeah, they were basically they were crushing up like the chemicals like or I don't know what they weren't doing it in the US. They were doing it over in China. Like the Chinese were like taking like like the chemicals like from all those drugs and everything that they manufacture over there, and they were just injecting them straight into like the vape juice stuff. So it's just weird.
You never.
Well, all the flavors came from the food flavoring market.
Yeah.
What
That's
flavor?
Food.
Food. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you could buy food flavors, and that's what they use to mix with the nicotine and propylene glycol and the other one.
Yeah, propylene
whatever the
glycol.
hell it is.
Yeah.
And the other one, which usually I mix 50-50.
There's vegetable glycerin, and then there was propylene.
Yep. There you go.
PG and PG. I missed the PG stuff. The PG stuff was so much better. That was the stuff.
Yeah,
that was the stuff I started with. That's what I like. Whenever everything became VG, I didn't like it. It almost made my throat feel greasy or oily or something.
Well, I order mine. I used to order them individually, but I started ordering mine 50-50, the PG VG mix.
Yeah.
And then I got a bottle of 100 milligram nicotine, gallon of that.
Where you get that?
Heartland Vapes.
It's that stuff is so scary. It's like acid. It like burn your skin.
Oh yeah. You got to if you get the high grade, you got to take precautions. Otherwise, you're going to pay the price.
Yeah,
You gotta know what you're doing.
I
Yikes.
gotta switch over to something like that, dude, because I've been smoking since I was 11. I'm 44 now, so it's about time I quit.
It works.
Yeah, I mean, I tried vaping before, but it wasn't strong enough at all. I mean, it was just like,
Exactly.
yeah,
That's always my issue. Like vapes are like I had to always have to get the weakest ones. I couldn't handle anything over like a 6. And like I mean I remember when I started. I think I started out in a 16 and then dropped to an 11. Like but as I got off of it, even as I'm smoking cigarettes now, I don't smoke often enough, I guess, or anything to have like my nicotine limit that high. It's like I'll just pass out. Like if I remember taking a drag off of one. I didn't know it was like a 32 at one point, like way back then, and like I like fell over. Like I was like it was so intense.
Originally, the highest you could get was 24.
that's right. Yeah.
We were
24
and making our own though. That's why.
Yeah, 24 is equivalent to an actual cigarette dosage.
Yeah.
No kidding. I never tried anything over like a 4 milligram or whatever. The dude told me that was the strongest that I should do.
I mean, yeah. If you don't smoke a lot, then I did it more like
I
because like
mean,
it was
I
more
do
like
smoke a lot, but
it was more like the hand to mouth kind of thing. It was like
Yeah.
it was more like it was mostly like it was kind of like getting used to like that part of it. Getting that was what I had a bigger problem than I had with actual smoking. I think was just like the habit of the whole like ritual of it, But honestly, I did better quitting when we had the tiny little like cartridge vapes and like the little cigarette type things. But everything moved to like the big giant like kits and everything with like the huge tank on them and everything like that. And people just like making this. That's the reason everything switched to vegetable glycerin, because vegetable glycerin makes huge clouds of smoke or vape and
cloud chasing.
Yeah, and see, I don't care about the clouds at all. I'm not trying to like I find that part just
if you want residue inside your car windows or in your house, that straight VG would leave residue everywhere.
Yep.
Now, today you got to be careful. I noticed this when I stopped by a vape shop just to see what they had. These manufacturers are listing their numbers a little differently. Some of them are. A 4 gram, or milligram, whatever you were talking about, is actually probably a 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know, like for a little while, the last time I was in vape stores, it seemed like they were even the person the person I had at the counter was even telling me they were like I was like yeah, I always get the lowest ones. They're like that was like she was saying that was mostly what they installed in her when she's there, because she says a lot of people don't even want the nicotine in it a lot of times because they just want to make the cloud stuff for like that was back when it was a Rindy thing. I guess
that and the fruity tooty flavor.
Yeah, and that's stuff I can't stand. I can't stand those fruity flavors. Like my favorite flavor we ever had at La Sig was we used to have a flavor that was supposed to be equivalent to a Newport cigarette, even though it didn't taste anything like a Newport cigarette. But it just had this really nice crisp menthol flavor to it that it wasn't too sweet and it wasn't bitter, and it just like it didn't have like that heavy fake tobacco flavor to it. It was like fake, but still. Because that's the hardest thing. The hardest thing for vapes to replicate is an actual cigarette. Like to taste an actual cigarette. I've never tasted one that actually tastes like a real cigarette. They always taste like something about it.
There's a place in Europe that I used to order. It was called Camel flavor, and it was spot on flavor wise.
Was it?
Just
cool. We used to have Camel flavor, but it didn't taste like Camel to me.
They recently made menthol flavor illegal, didn't they?
Nope, they're still working on it. President won't
include cigarettes.
Yeah.
President won't sign it right now.
But it got reversed or something because it was
it's sitting on his desk. It's because the black community started raising a fuss about
That's right. I heard about
the menthol.
Yeah, that's right. Shit.
That they didn't want to lose their menthol flavor.
Yeah.
Which really it is
That's
stupid.
all
I mean,
cool.
if you're killing yourself, you're killing yourself with cigarettes already. Like if people want to put mint in it, let them do it.
That started
Exactly.
under Obama, and the theory was that it made it more attractive to kids if it was
But
flavored.
it doesn't though. Like whenever I started
That was
smoking,
his. I'm
I
just
didn't
telling
like
you
my-
his thinking behind it.
Yeah, I kind of get it with the fruity flavors and the vape stuff. I get that. I get why people complain about that. But vaping is not nearly as harmful as cigarettes. I don't care anything.
No, my health improved dramatically. My doctor was the one that gave me my first vape.
We had several customers that literally their COPD cleared up. I mean, like they were like
Yep.
they were like bad, and they got over it. They got healthy, and because the nicotine isn't what hurts you. It's all the other stuff in the cigarettes, the smoke.
Oh
so.
yeah. Man,
And I think
Yeah,
I think the propylene glycol was healthier than the vegetable oils myself too.
fucking Marlboro has had me by the balls since I was a fucking preteen. And
been there, done that.
And it's weird because I can smoke any other cigarette brand and it doesn't feel like I've had a cigarette at all because the chemicals in Marlboro they grab you by the nuts.
Well, you know they put additives in cigarettes to make people addictive.
Totally.
Yep.
And no other cigarette has the additives that Marlboro has, and that was the hardest part to trying to get to vaping because
You guys ain't old enough to remember, but I remember commercials where they would advertise cigarettes. 9 out of 10 doctors,
recommend
like,
right?
yeah, like this flavor of cigarette.
Dude, that's just like the fucking pharma fucking bullshit.
Yep,
We had candy cigarettes.
Carries on.
they still do.
Yes,
That's-
exactly. It carries on.
They don't like very well, but they still got them.
What's that?
We would smoke them in school on the playground and pretend like we were smoking real cigarettes.
Yep.
They had them in the vending. Like the school is the one that gave us access to them.
Wow. We used to get expelled if we got caught smoking in school.
Oh,
I started smoking.
You're not really smoking the candy cigarette though. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. I think candy cigarettes are like they're disgusting anyway. That's why I don't understand like why anybody how they're ever a thing. It's not so much because like how awful or training kids to smoke as much as like they don't even taste good. They don't even taste like candy. They taste like
it was
chalk.
just sugar. It was like pure sugar, hardened sugar.
Yeah, it was.
But still, it was like second and third grade kids on the playground.
Yeah, it was real candy. Real candy. We're talking real candy here. I know what Jeff's talking about.
Yeah, they were cigarettes made out of candy cigarettes.
There's a cigarette
candy vending machine.
There's a cigarette shop here in town that still sells those candy cigarettes.
Dude,
that's what I'm talking about too.
Yeah,
I just think they don't taste like candy though.
They're kind of like bubble gum, weren't they? Or were they candy or bubble gum?
They're hard.
They weren't bubble gum. They're hard candy.
And it had the smoke was like the sugar that went out the.
It had a little red tip, like painted with red food dye or something.
Yeah.
And that was the lit part. And you could put them in your mouth. They were
It was extremely fake. It was
cigarette. They were more like a Capri.
It kind of inspired me want to smoke real cigarettes in a way when I was a kid. I'm not kidding. Both my parents smoked, so I was around it all the time anyway.
I feel you, man. My mom smoked all through my childhood, and I'm a smoker today, unfortunately. But I didn't actually start until I was 18 or 19.
Yeah, that's about the time people start. I mean, generally, younger people. I started at 11 in Boy Scouts. Fucking.
You've been smoking since you were 11?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't start smoking heavy until I was 15. And I've been smoking heavy ever since I was 15, and I haven't quit. I've never quit. Never even tried to quit. I did try, but the vape really didn't do it for me. I tried and tried, but I need something strong like the Chuck was talking about. Maximum milligrams. So like maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's what did it for me. Once I
Yeah.
got the right nicotine level, the rest of it was no problem.
What
And
brand
then
do
I
you? I'm sorry. What
go
brand?
ahead.
I'm just wondering what brand do you have?
What do I got right now? I keep breaking them. I have a bad habit of letting them fall out of my pocket and bounce off the concrete.
Yeah, I know what you mean, brother.
And it's a low, like Chris was talking about. They got these 300-watt giant puffers out there. Hell, the one I use only goes up to what, 20 watts, I think. And I only burn it at 6 watts. It's enough for me.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I always keep them. I always do them real low, even though that's actually it's actually you're really supposed to like pay attention to what kind of core and everything you're using, because like depending on what kind of what I can with it the actual filament and everything they use in there to heat the stuff up. If you know what you're using, like they're made for different voltages and levels like that, and if you don't use the right one, it does kind of like it causes problems. So you're supposed to like it's really complicated. Honestly, it's gotten way too complicated because like you're supposed to know what kind of juice is going to work best with like your kind of setup, and you
Oh,
got to
it's
know
like
like,
a science.
yeah. It's like it became a hobbyist thing real fast. I mean, it started as a hobbyist thing. I mean, it was really like the whole thing started with like people that found that the Chinese were making these things on the internet, and people started like importing the stuff and just like was just doing it like a neat little hobby, and that's where the industry grew from. And then
Yeah,
people had health benefits, but
they caught on because they worked. Is
yeah.
what happened.
But then after time, after like that kind of like that part of it died down, then it turned into like it became trendy for a while, and all these teenagers that and like well, I mean they weren't teenagers, they were like in their 20s or whatever, but like they would be like they were using it as like props for like making huge vape clouds and all these things like that. If you've seen like people at like the vape, if you've been to a vape bar and seen some guy, so there's always like one guy and there's like doing like tricks with the vapes, he's like
Yeah.
all that shit like that. And I just was like, oh, that's real cool, man. It's kind of like it's to me, it's about as cool as me doing tricks of the yo-yo. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. That would I would have thought you were badass when I was 12, but like, or somebody does Zippo tricks, I'm just like, I'm like, okay, that's. I mean, I guess maybe the occasional Zippo trick might work as an icebreaker if you're trying to talk to a girl at a bar or something. I don't know, but like for the most part, like you're no better than a 13-year-old walking around trying to impress people with magic. Want to see a magic trick? It's very
Yeah. One of my last devices had a flashlight, a compass, altimeter,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had one of those
temperature,
too.
and I'm like, what the hell do I need all that for? I just wanted to make smoke.
It's like a little smartphone on the side of the thing now. Like there's like touch
Yeah,
screen and shit like that. Yeah, I know. Like they're insane.
it's nutty.
I had one like that I got clearanced on I didn't know how it shit whatever. I got it. I just got it because they had a bunch of mods clearanced on a site in Dallas that I go to their store sometimes, but on their website they had a bunch of clearance stuff. And this is right before the regulation stuff kicked in, so you can still get the stuff online pretty easily without as many like hoops and stuff. But anyway, they had a bunch of the mods that they were clearing out, I guess, probably because of the regulation coming up. But like I got one of them that came like that, and like I got those things for dirt cheap. I got them for like under $10 each. Like they were like 100. Some of them were like $200 mods at one point. They were trying to get rid of them for whatever reason. And
Oh yeah.
and like I had one of them like that had like it was like a little like it was basically an iPod Touch almost. Like on the outside of it, it had like it had little apps and stuff on it, and all the stuff like that. It broke really quickly, but like it was insane. Like it didn't. I'm not using it very much because the screen would come on in my pocket and like and then the screen broke and then you couldn't use it at all. So it was stupid. But anyway.
Yeah, I still get contacted by the Chinese people over there trying to sell me stuff. 'Cause I used to buy quite a bit from them when I was in business.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
we got all of our stuff from Listig. We got it pre-branded over there and everything, but it was like white label stuff that
Now,
I think
Lustig was from Canada, wasn't it?
no, we're from Arkansas.
Oh, really? I thought that was Canadian.
No, Listig was I mean, like I met it's how I first got introduced to vaping. Period. Is that they did like there was around Christmas time in the mall here. I was managing a calendar kiosk as a seasonal job, and they had like some sort of like like thing where they had booths in the mall and stuff like that. Local business had booths and like and
Yeah.
like one of them was let's say they came in and they had just opened at that point. It was like they just put their website up and like so they were fairly new, and this is their first, like they've been going for about 3 months I guess before that, and then I tried one of those things and I was like fascinated right away. I was like look, they're like future cigarettes. They're like cigarettes from the future, they're like robot cigarettes, I thought they were the coolest thing for a while, and so I got my first kit then, and then I kept talking to, but as I was talking to him, like they were there for like 3 days, and over the 3 days I talked to him several times, and he asked, I told him about, I used to graphic design, stuff like that. Later on, he called me and offered and asked if I could do some work for him. I started going there and working for them in their shop, but it was like a long way away. I had to drive like an hour and a half to get there, but it was in Arkansas. Yeah, and anyway, I worked there a long time. And eventually, I stopped doing like the clerk work, and I was just doing graphic design on the website. I basically redesigned all the graphics on the website. I did like because it all looked kind of like it was all really low res at the time, and so I redid all their graphics and all this stuff like that. And I developed I helped them develop their first like USA made like vape juice that I jokingly refer to as Vapriate, and then he ran with it, and I was like, that's the one you went with. I had all these really cool I had all these really like classy names and everything for it, but the one he chose was the one I did as a joke, It's funny. Yeah, I jokingly called one Vapriate, and I made this dumb looking logo with it, which is just like a block font with red, white, and blue letters, and of course that's the one he went with. He was like, I love it, Vapriate, we're going with. I was like, I worked really hard on a lot of other designs too. I worked really hard on a bunch of others that he had no interest in at all, but he went for that one. So anyway, I worked with them like a year and a half, 2 years maybe. And then I stopped for a while because they didn't have work for me for a while, and then I went back to work there again at another point, and then for some reason he got mad at me one day, and he stormed into my little office that I had there and ripped up some designs I had made for something. I don't know what he got mad about, but I was I'm out of here. I can't deal with this anymore. And the last time I ever talked to him, it was weird. It was just one of those weird job situations. I had a lot of those when I was growing up. I worked for really weird people, just oddball business owners and people that were kind of crazy. I did a lot of that growing up, or just in general, I guess. Amazon was probably the closest thing to a real normal straight job I'd ever had, probably, where I worked for. I didn't work. I mean, I still worked for crazy psycho people there too, but it was different. They didn't own the company.
The Amazon, you didn't work in a department where I heard that they had people pissing in the trash cans and shit.
No, that's that. I mean, believe me. Look, Amazon. They ain't no saints. They're pretty. Amazon is a pretty evil company in a lot of ways, but in terms of the way they treat their employees, all that stuff was overblown and way and
yeah,
I never saw anything like that. And I worked in the warehouses in overnight shifts, and I mean seriously, if people want to go to the restroom, they were completely 100% allowed to go to the restroom. And people they would get onto you for your rate or whatever like that if you didn't stay on it, or your time off task. But it was usually pretty egregious whenever people got in trouble for it. It wasn't like somebody was took 2 10-minute bathroom breaks. It was somebody wasn't working for half their shift, and they get in trouble for that. And they'd get mad, and if they get fired, they get mad or something like that. And they'd be like, yeah, they wouldn't even let me go to the bathroom. It was just people
I've seen stuff like that too. I work in a warehouse environment where a lot of that stuff goes on, and ultimately, the people who are making those claims are the people who take 10-minute bathroom breaks. Like, you know, it's just unreasonable the amount of time they spend not fucking working.
I mean, like I have tons of issues with Amazon, so I'd like to don't take this as like I'm saying like Amazon isn't evil. They're not bad. I'm not defending Amazon. Amazon ultimately they fired me over some bullshit myself, like actual bullshit. Like there was not. I wasn't really fired. Okay, I wasn't really like I worked my way up to like a pretty high to like a mid-level position in the company, and they basically like put me on medical leave and then basically demoted me to a work at home customer service agent because I was a programmer essentially. I was called a data analyst, and I was doing what my job was to write like Ruby and Python scripts to pull specific reports from their database, which is a very old like Frankenstein together database that had been from back when Bezos started the company all the way to now. Instead of starting new and like in at any point way back when, they just built on.
Got to integrate that AS400 system.
Yeah, they just kept building onto this database with like instead of trying to actually like move to a new system, they just kept like trying to Frankenstein their things into it to make it work like this, and so it was really complicated to write scripts for, and I only knew like the most basic of programming in the first place. It wasn't the job I wanted. I was trying to stay in the training department because that's what I like doing, but that's where they pushed me into that, and then but like the warehouse I was in, even though there were tons of people that had chairs and all that stuff like that, I just requested that I needed a chair to occasionally sit down because like they had these stupid standing desks, and I was literally doing programming. I mean, I don't know if you're trying to like focus on programming when your back is like aching because you've been standing in this awkward like standing hunch position for like 3 hours. But I mean, it gave me 2 slip discs from just that alone, and finally like the one of the managers there was like, well, dude, you just need to like make an accommodation request. It shouldn't be a big deal. And I listened to him and I went and make the accommodation request. And then the next day they came in and said and told me that they needed to turn all my stuff because I was being laid off temporarily until they figured out what to do with me, more or less. Like,
I can
and it was both like, the reason for it. I wasn't because I didn't even ask for like I didn't even ask for like. I mean, I was basically I should have had like every other data analyst in the network had their own office. Like I should have had an office, but for some reason they had me out on the floor, and it didn't even make any sense. And there was plenty of chairs out on the floor too, so it didn't make sense. But anyway, so I'm saying like, I'm not defending Amazon about much, but I will defend them. They don't make people pee in bottles. They've never done that. So.
Well, on that note, I have to end early today. Sunday's my early.
All right, man.
Well,
Well, thanks for having me up here. I appreciate you.
No, but Talcott's on in an hour, so y'all could go take it over there if you want. And I don't know who's streaming tonight. Maybe Flo or somebody.
Oh,
what's
I'm gonna play some video games.
And you'll be all right.
You got it? Is it drag race night or something like that? I can't remember.
Yeah. It's the same
drag race.
Was that the same what?
The same link.
Okay, that's cool. I couldn't remember what I lose track of the days, man. I really do.
Okay, well we're gonna end it anyway.
All right. Nice chatting with you, man. As always, thanks for having me up. I appreciate you.
You too. We'll be here tomorrow, or I will.
I should be.
Okay, we'll be here tomorrow.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Peace out.
You too. Redington, take care. Chuck.
All right, I'll take this opportunity to say catch you guys later. Good show. We'll catch you sometime down the road. All right, be good.
Same to you. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, everyone else. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Oops. There we go.